Prime's won 2 games against mediocre opponents. Colorado going 5-7. All right, let's talk about it, because that's the exact disrespect that Shedeur Sanders is talking about there, bruh. Again, it's not to say that Colorado is a championship team. What it is to say is that they have no right being as good as they are right now.
No.
For a team that was completely remade 6 months ago, they have no right to be executing, communicating, or playing with the level of discipline that they are right now. That goes back to coaching. That's why people are blown away, because this is a team that maybe, again, opens at 4.5 win total in this season, immediately becomes the most bet under in the entire country, drops to 3.5, and now they might break that in 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, so again, a lot of the Colorado talk is because there's no way it should be working out this well. Doesn't mean they're championship worthy, but they're still better than fucking 5-7. Still way better. You try to give credit for
this is, I would say, I think this is I would say 8-win team at minimum. I love the only thing that's going to hurt them is obviously the Pac-12 this year is just loaded with great football teams. I mean, it's going to be a grind here when they get going. And yes, Nebraska's not very good. And there's a lot of issues there, from their quarterback play to a plethora of things. But you stomped them. Like, it's not just the fact that you won. Yeah. You ran away with it, and you didn't even play as good as you possibly could have. Like, that's the difference. Yep. It's not like Colorado won the game 17-14 and both teams looked like crap. You won 36-14.
36-14.
Like,
you were favored by 3. Favored by 3, won 36-14.
This is and you and I were watching it together this weekend, the second half, and we just kept saying this over and over again. Like, the team like this should not look that good on both sides of the football.
No.
This early on in the season with this many new parts, yet they do. This is a competitive football team, and this team's going to be competitive the entire season, game in and game out. Like, I know people are saying, oh, well, they're just going to win this game this weekend versus Colorado State. Then, just wait till they have to go to Eugene versus Colorado. I'm not so sure. Like, I watched Colorado this morning, and their comeback victory versus Texas Tech. Shout out Texas Tech.
You're talking Oregon. You said Colorado a couple times. You meant Oregon.
I meant Oregon.
Yeah.
Like, Oregon has some problems themselves that they got to figure out heading into that game. So I think Colorado is a good enough team, going back to the quarterback position once again, because they have a top-tier quarterback. They have elite receivers on the outside.
Yeah.
The offense line's playing better than we expected. Still, that's going to be the question mark the entire season. They have really good guys on the back end defensively, and they play really hard. They play discipline. It's a good football team.
Well, and what's funny is there's been a phrase that we used a lot here in the first couple of weeks, because you're trying to draw conclusions from small sample sizes. So what feels sustainable? And every element Aaron just listed off, those are keys to sustainable success, not fluky success. It's the same thing that I saw to Texas, only Texas is more so because the line looks stronger, et cetera, right?
Yep.
So that's why I'm high on Texas now. It looked sustainable. Miami did, maybe to a bit of a lesser degree, but Colorado has all the elements for this to be sustainable, at least this year with Shedeur, right? And then once you have to get a new quarterback, everything goes out the window, because that looks like a first-round talent right now. Speaking of Shedeur, though, this might be some of the most legendary post-game sound I've ever heard. Shedeur Sanders, is he, and we'll play it and then ask the question, is he right to feel disrespected? Here's what Shedeur Sanders had to say after the game.
It was extremely personal. We go out there, warm up. You got the head coach for the other team trying to stand in the middle of the buff. Like, it's okay if like, a couple players do it. It's fine, Like, just enjoy the scenery. But when you got the whole team trying to disrespect it, then I'm not going for that at all. So I went in there and disrupted it. So they knew off rip, like, nah, the Buffaloes mean a lot to me. And personally, that's what I was saying pregame. And that's when I knew it was just extreme disrespect. And that's why it was the coach said a lot of things about my pops, about the program, but now that he want to act nice, I don't respect that, because you hating on another man, you shouldn't do that. So it was just, all respect was gone for them in their program. Now, I like playing against their DC, I like playing against them, but the respect level, it ain't there, because you disrespected us first.
So some people are like, what are you talking about? Because like Matt Rhule's made very respectful post-game comments and whatnot. But if you do a little digging, you'll see what Shedeur's kind of getting at, Aaron. First off, in the offseason, there were a lot of quotes about Rhule about like, you'll see when we put out videos, we're working, we're not talking. or we don't want to let cameras into our practice. It kind of kind of vague illusions, nothing too bad. But the real sin is, dude, and Matt Rhule, man, you get what you kind of get what you put in. He held a team meeting on the Buffalo at the 50-yard line, a full ass team meeting before the game. And I know this sounds like toxic meathead dumbassedness and that matters, but it fucking does. And it is. Do you know how furious I would get when somebody would fuck with the eye in Death Valley? Like, I'll never forget. Florida comes into the Valley, kicks our ass. Before the game, though, they were messing around on the eye, like running around and stomping on a little bit. And we wanted to get it back. We get our ass kicked. Like, the next year, it motivated me for an entire year. The next year, we beat them on the last play of the game. The first fucking thing I did was run out to midfield and start stomping on the F, jumping up and down on it as hard as I could. So Matt Rhule knew what he was doing, okay? Yeah. And he pissed Shedeur off, and he found out what happens when you piss off an alpha quarterback. Also, there's a very cool video I'd say go look up of Shedeur Sanders walking into Nebraska's team huddle and breaking it up and starting his warm up, and they're all trying to like stand around him and intimidate him, and he's fucking chilling because he knows what's about to happen. And Nebraska, I love you. I'm T-Cobb. You know this. Shout out Corn Hub. Yeah. But that was wrong, and you acted like a bitch kind of, and you got treated like one.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I said last week, and that he is my number 2 quarterback in that conference. It's because of that confidence. It is because of that confidence, man. Like, he is so much swagger. He's not afraid to be a leader. He's not afraid of the competition. He's not afraid of the spotlight. And NFL teams love that, man, because it is the ultimate job as being the NFL quarterback. Comes with a lot of responsibilities, comes with a lot of scrutiny. And he's showing right now that he can handle everything thrown his way in a very mature way. So that you thought that disrespect was bad. You remember Dan Lanning this offseason saying some of the stuff he said about Colorado? Like,
yeah,
like, why do we care?
Dude, that's
like
right,
you're gonna see,
dude. Oh, I forgot.
There's a lot of what did Deion say? I'm keeping receipts. I'm keeping receipts. Yep. I'm keeping receipts. That's gonna be playing all over. And I'm not much of like a too much of a believer in bulletin board material. Like, you're either good or you're not good. You're either prepared or you're not prepared. Like, a little thing here or there maybe adds 1 or 2% to your game. Like, I don't think it's enough to win or lose. I don't think Nebraska having that huddle on the 50-yard line caused Colorado to win the way they did. Colorado was a better football team. And we said it last week on the show. They were more athletic, and they were going to eventually run circles around Nebraska.
Well, and they had a massive advantage at quarterback, obviously. Yes. And that was like earlier it was maybe more about Jeff Sims being bad, but by the end it was about Shedeur just being fucking incredible.
That much better. Yep. 100%.
Shedeur Sanders, 450 yards per game, 77.5 completion percentage, 10.1 yards per attempt, 6 touchdowns, and no picks. What? I mean, take a bow, bro. I didn't think that was. I mean,
what would you say? What do you say wins? I'm saying 8.
I don't know. I'd have to look at the schedule. I mean, whatever. Like I said, I immediately think that, and this added to this, but like, I immediately feel that they are better than the kind of middle of the pack tier of the Pac-12, and that against the grouping of Washington, Oregon, USC, and Utah,
Oregon State,
and Oregon.
Dude, look at their schedule, though. I mean, it's crazy to see how
they could probably win a couple of those.
As of right now, Colorado's remaining schedule against the number 13 team in the country, Oregon, against the number 5 team in the country, USC, the number 24 team in the country, UCLA, number 16 team in the country, Oregon State, the number 23 team in the country, Washington State, and the number 12 team in the country, Utah. The Pac-12 is loaded this year.